folks, Paul Groon here. Are you currently serving in, or have you ever been asked to serve in a volunteer leadership role? You might not think you have it within you, but just realize that no one was born a great leader. They don't teach this sort of stuff in school, but the traits and skills needed can be learned. And one of the great teachers on this subject is John Maxwell. I've got a number of his books here, and I've had the pleasure of hearing him speak. He's very good. And this particular book is on, well, the title is Developing the Leader Within You. Now, it's a classic. It's been around about 30 years, but it's still very relevant. The sort of concepts really don't change. Some other titles. He's got many books, but the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Follow them, and people will follow you. Another one, because when you develop other leaders in your teams, so here's one, the 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork. Embrace them and empower your team. Now, Maxwell covers too much in each of those books to really do any kind of short summary any justice, but so in this video what I'd like to do is just talk about one of the 10 concepts he covers in that first book. Each concept is actually a whole chapter. So first thought, what might be another word that makes you think of leadership? Perhaps a word that might even serve as the definition. In Maxwell's mind, the word is influence. For example, and I've used this phrase often, if you think you're a leader but you turn around and no one's following you, you're not a leader. You're basically just out taking a walk. The first chapter in his book covers 5 levels of leadership. He believes you need to work your way through each level, and that you can't, or at least shouldn't, skip a level. The first level is position. Your influence comes from a title. This is the typical employee-manager sort of relationship. People won't follow such a person beyond their stated authority. True leadership requires much more than just a title. And as I'm sure you can imagine, this style doesn't work well with volunteers. It's more like herding cats. The second level is permission. People follow you because they want to. You've probably heard the phrase, seen it many places, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, because leadership comes from the heart, not the head. The third level is production. At this level, goals and needs are being met, turnover is low, and morale is high. The fourth level is people development. Great leaders empower others. And I love one of his phrases, and I've used this one a lot. Success without a successor is failure. It is critical to develop others to do the work. You're not going to be around in that role forever. And when you develop others, they'll become more loyal. The final and fifth level is personhood. Maxwell doesn't even really spend much time defining that one, other than to say few people ever attain that level, and those that do tend to be larger than life. I think we can appreciate those we consider larger than life. And he's saying it takes time to work through all those levels, and that the higher you go, the longer it takes. In addition, the higher your level of commitment will need to be, and the easier it'll become, and the more you'll grow. Now, in order to go through those levels, you'll need to do 2 things. First is know what level you're currently on. And the first chapter will help you do that by answering a bunch of questions. Second, learn and apply what's required for each of the levels, and the entire rest of the book will help you with that. Perhaps I'll cover some of that in a future video or videos. So that's really all for now. Please comment below or message me if you've got any thoughts, stories, examples that you'd like to add, issues you've faced, lessons you've learned. And please check out my YouTube channel. I've got a playlist on volunteer leadership. So that's all for now. See you next time.